So for this video I'm going to have a look at some very basic exam style questions, and the first of the exam style questions is going to be a sort of expansion they'll ask you to do, but instead of expanding out the whole expansion, or instead of possibly asking you to expand out say the first 4 or 5 terms, they might just ask you to write down what the 10th term is, or the 5th term, or the 2nd term, or the 20th term, and just that term on its own. Now obviously one way of doing it would be to expand out the whole thing and then just pick out the term they're talking about. But unfortunately, if they give you an expansion which has got a big power and they ask for you to write down, say, what the 30th term is, the time taken to expand it up until the 30th term is really not the way to go, because you'd never finish the exam. So let's have a look at what's going on for a very basic expansion, and then I'll do some examples how we can hone in and focus specifically on a requested term, such as the 7th term or whatever. I've done x plus 1 to the power 6, and you can basically see first of all that when we're doing the expansion, that the first term has got a power 6 like so, and it's x to the power 6, but the second term is 6 choose 1. This is the first thing that we should be sort of making a mental note about. The third term is 6 choose 2. The fourth term is 6 choose 3. Okay, so that is very important. 6 choose 4, 6 choose 5. Okay, so the value of the terms, if it's the third term, it's 6 choose 2. If it's the fourth term, it's 6 choose 3. So that's very important that we should recognise that. As well as that, when you go through these terms one by one, second term, let's have a look at the second term. You know it's 6 choose 1. I've already said that the choose value is 1 less than the actual term number. But the second power is also the same as the choose number. 6 choose 1, the second term is power 1. 6 choose 2, the second term is power 2. 6 choose 3, the second term is power 3. 6 choose 4, the second term is power 4. 6 choose 5, the second term is power 5. Now based on those two facts that we know about the choose term and the power of the second term, we can now tackle some typical exam style questions. Easy ones, but they're still typical exam style. So for example, e.g. let's say they ask you to find the 5th term of an expansion. Let's say the expansion, let's just do it nice and easy, x plus 1 to the power 7. Okay, so I want to know what the 5th term is. So, here we go. The 5th term will simply be, you do not need to expand out the whole thing. All you've got to do is realise that if it's power 7, we're going to have a 7 choose something coefficient going on. If it's the 5th term, then you're going to have 7 choose 4. The choose value is always 1 less than the term we're talking about. So here, 1 to 3rd term, it was 6 choose 2. Okay, and in this particular one, it's the 5th term, so 7 choose 4. 7 because it's power 7 in this particular expansion. Okay, if it's 6 choose 3, remember the second term had the same power. So second term plus 1, I'll put that at the end because I'm going to put the first term in there in a minute. If it's 4 there, that will be a power 4. That means the first term, which is x, must be a power 3, because 3 and 4 make the 7, which is the original power of the statement, of the expansion. And that's it. Let's just tidy that up. So 7 choose 4 is obviously 7 by 6 by 5 over 3 by 2 by 1, because remember 7 choose 4 from symmetry is the same as 7 choose 3, so I only need to do 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, that's all I need to do, 7 choose 3, by x cubed by 1 to the 4, which is 1, so I don't need it. A bit of cancelling, 3 and 2 cancel with 6, so you're left with 7 5's 35 x cubed over 1, which of course is just 35x cubed. So there's the 5th term of that expansion, and I haven't had to do the whole expansion. So let's practice a little bit on this, about 4 or 5 examples, so you can go straight to the term that we're talking about. So here we go, let's try another one. Let's say I give you an expansion. Okay, so for example, let's say I want the 6th term of let's say 2x minus 1 to the power 8. I want the sixth term. Fine, here we go then. So the sixth term will be equal to, well, if it's power 8, you're going to have 8 choose. 8 choose something. Sixth term, you're going to have 8 choose 5. Okay, the 5 is one less than the sixth term. Then you'll have the second term, which is a minus 1, and that will be the same power as the choose value 5 there. So it's minus 1 at the end to the power 5. That means the first term, 2x, must be to power 3, because 3 and 5 make the 8, which is the original 8 to the power of the expansion. So we have to figure out what that gives. So 8 choose 5, now from symmetry of coefficients of choose values, 8 choose 5 is the same as 8 by 5 by 4, sorry, 8 by 7 by 6, what am I talking about? 8 by 7 by 6 over 3 by 2 by 1. In other words, it's the same as 8 choose 3. From symmetry, 8 choose 5 is the same as 8 choose 3. 2x cubed, so it's multiplied by 2x cubed is 8x cubes, and then be careful, minus 1 to the power 5 actually gives you a minus 1. So we're going to end up with a negative answer because of the minus 1 at the end. Let's do a bit of cancelling. 3 and 2 will cancel with the 6. So you're left with simply 8 times 7, 56, 56 times 8. Well, 50 times 8 is 400, and then 6 times 8 is 48, so that's 448, and we're talking about x cubes. And that's it, that's the sixth term, and you haven't had to do the whole expansion. Okay, let's try another one. Make some more space. Let's say, for example, let's do 1 minus 2x to the power 20. So you've got a ridiculously high power there, but I only want to find the third term. That's all I want. I don't want anything else, just the third term. Now, for this one, it wouldn't be too bad to expand it out, because if you only want the third term, you'd only have to find 3 terms. But I'm still going to go straight to the third term. The third term is going to be equal to, here we go. Well, because it's power 20, you're going to get 20, choose, and then third term means 20 choose 2. The second term is minus 2x, so minus 2x at the end is going to be the same as that power, 2. And then the first term, 1, is going to be to power 18, because 18 and 2 make 20. So that's the term that we're talking about. Let's just work it out. 20 choose 2 is 20 by 19 over 2 by 1. 1 to the 18 is just obviously 1, and then minus 2x, if you square it, you get plus 4x squared. A bit of cancelling. 2 into 20 goes 10, so that's nice and easy. So we're going to get 19 times 10 is 190. 190 times 4, well, 200 times 4 is 800. So 190 times 4 is 40 less than that, 760. So we're going to have 760 x squared, and everything in that expression is positive. So there's the third term of that expansion, 760 x squared. Just an added complication that they sometimes add, and you've got to be careful about this. Sometimes they might say this, find the coefficient of the third term. If they want the coefficient of the third term, they're not actually interested in the whole term itself. All they want is the number in front of the term, of the x squared in this case. So the coefficient would be, if you needed it, 760, and you don't need the x squared. In fact, if you put the x squared down, you'd lose marks, because that is the whole term, and they only ask for the coefficient. So there you go, there's 1 minus 2x all to the power 20. Let's do one more in this short video of this particular type. Okay, let's say I give you bracket, let's say this time it's 1 plus 4x to the power 100, and I want to find the third term. Okay, afterwards we'll find the coefficient of the third term. Okay, I'm going to go straight to the third term. Third term will be equal to 100 choose, well, third term choose 2. Then we have the plus 4x to the power 2, and we have, well, the first term 1 must be the power 98 then. So let's work this through. 100 choose 2 is 100 by 99 all over 2 by 1. And then multiplied by, well, 1 to the 98 is 1, times by this thing here is 16x squareds. The figures in this are a little bit big, I would expect, for a C1 question, but the principle is basically very straightforward. So I don't think the numbers would get quite as big for a C1 question. Okay, 100 times 99, I think I'll cancel that 2. 2 into 2 goes once, and I'll cancel it with the 16 over there to make it 8. I won't cancel the 100, because obviously 100 is nice to multiply by. So here we go, we've got 99 times 100, that's 9900, and then we've got to times it by 8x squared. So we've got 9900 times 8. I'll do that at the side here. 9900 times by 8, that's nothing, nothing. 9 8 is 72, oops, 2 down carry 7. 9 8 is 72, add the 7, 79. So we've got 79,200 x squareds. And that is the third term of that expansion. Obviously, the coefficient of the third term would simply be 79,200 if you were asked for it. That's the end of this short video. In the next one, we'll make things slightly more difficult.